Hi there, welcome back. It's been a while. Have you noticed a change in clothing? I'm so happy. Oh, the cool weather has arrived. It's the kind of weather where I live, where if you're in the sunshine, it feels warm and wonderful. And if you're in the shade, it's cold and you need a sweater. And if you're in the house with the windows open, it's cool and it's fabulous at night. Oh, the windows are open and it's cold and you can pile blankets on your bed and it's so nice. This is really, really, really my kind of, my time of year. Fall in Ontario. It's beautiful and it's a nice time to visit us. So if you've ever wondered when to visit Ontario, fall is a very nice time to visit. And as is typical with touristy places, the children are in school. So usually parents with children, not that there's anything wrong with children. I had 5. I feel like on the internet you have to clarify things. But it can be nice that things aren't quite so busy and crowded, and you can usually take your time and enjoy sightseeing off season. It's just nice. Anyhow, I've been away all week, but I feel like I had a breakthrough week with the little lady. First of all, completely healed, lovely from her surgeries. Teeth and tummy are lovely. Hold on, I need to see where she is. Where are you? Kirby. Good girl. Hi. Okay, just making sure we're not into trouble. We're exploring a box. I gave her a box. Sort of like a child on Christmas morning. So, we had a breakthrough moment with the walking with a loose leash. And it's been so pleasant. And we've been doing 2 walks a day, which goodness knows I need. Anyhow, so I'm at various stages with 3 books right now. I've got the Beacon book going. I've got this little Thackeray book going. Right now it just says Diamond, etc. It's a whole bunch of stories. Etc., etc. I think I love that about Thackeray, all the etceteras. 1887, this book, I love it. It's just going to be a lovely little all sorts roundabout book. And then there's the Beacon Reader. Let me find you, Beacon Reader. Beacon Reader is coming along nicely. I'm really thrilled with the journaling board. Thrilled. I think I'm going to do something different to it today, and hopefully we can do that together. This is the original text block still inside it, so that's something we have to do. I have to get the signatures are, I think, done. They're in the press. These ones need to go in the press when I get Beacon Readers out of the press. Get all that together. And then we still have the roundabout papers. So let's see here with the roundabout papers, which I haven't touched all week. So, very happy with the roundabout papers. And I'm loving the profile of the open pages. If I haven't mentioned it before, I hand tore all those edges. And I love how it looks. And I heavily inked them. And I really love how that looks. this one is quickly turning into another favorite. I know, she says that about everyone. And it seems to work out that way, that they all turn into favorites. Anyhow, I'm going to have to choose pages to go in now. And I'm also going to have to, I need to back the marbled papers because I did make the decision to, yes, use the marbled end papers and put them back in. So I did that, and before I can do that, of course, text block goes in. If I'm going to put Brad's on the cover, I need to do that, but I'm not sold on that yet. So, all right, roundabout papers up there. Little Samuel Titmarsh needs to go into the press. Beacon Reader turned out to have quite a few pages, more than I thought I would be able to fit in, which I'm happy about. And then I'm also going to have to make, and it's a task that's not my favorite, I've got to make the templates to be able to sew them into a text block. So, book press, where are you? Book press. So, as my week went, come on. Okay, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Lefty loosey. Oh, you're not coming out. Maybe you will. Sometimes if you get one side loose, the other will follow suit. Come on. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see? There we go. If one won't give, the other will. Let's pull these out. That's nice. Oh yeah, that's giving me a lot more room to have a little more fun. So, what a variety now that I think about it. This one has a lot of ruler torn edges. The roundabout papers has hand torn edges, and this one is mostly straight cut edges. So a little bit of everything. I guess I'm in one of those moods lately. All right, so these are ready to go in. Let's just do that now. Come on, little paper. In you go. Thank you. I need to get... Oh, righty-tighty. There we go. I need to get knobs. One of you out there, and you know who you are, and I can't remember the name now. Don't take it personally. I'm lucky if I can remember my own children's names, let alone 18 grandchildren. One of you made your book press and you used knobs instead of these little fly kind of screws. And I just thought I should head over to my hardware store and get knobs and see if that would be easier. All right, there we go. All right, I'm going to pause and see what she's into because she's far too quiet. Okay, so I think it was time for morning nap. I'm just looking through my basket here to see if I already did it, and I really don't think I already did it. I didn't. Oh, I'm so sad. I usually get it over with right away because I don't enjoy doing it. You're probably thinking, oh my goodness, Catherine, what's this terrible thing you have to do? I just have to make the spine template and the pokey tool, the pokey pattern. It's not that bad. Here's the finished journaling board, which I'm happy how it worked out. I used hot glue gun, as I said. Remember I mentioned that I wished I could use one of those pheasant feathers in it, but they were way too long. Well, duh, feathers can be cut. Like, we have scissors. That's what scissors are for. So I took the center part out and I glued the top up there and I glued the bottom down here. So I like how that worked out. Now again, it would never be able to be this is the kind of book that needs to be stored flat rather than on a bookshelf like this. If it's a tall bookshelf, I suppose you could store it like that, or I'm not sure. Or I guess you could remove this. You know, that's the nice thing about junk journals. The book, if you are a recipient of one of my books, I hope that it evolves and changes, and I hope that there's things in it that you think, wow, that's not quite me, and you make it yours. So, you know, if you were hoping to be able to put this book upright on a bookshelf, by all means do it. I think what I'm going to do with this is back it onto the journaling board. Now I already went and put this little acorn here. I think someone's trying to get me on my phone, but that's too bad. I don't mind sacrificing this little acorn here. I just put it there because I thought I was going to put it on the front, and I preferred the dragonfly instead. Dragonflies have been following Kirby and I around all week. I'm not sure I want to know what that means. Hopefully it's a good thing. But they're just everywhere these days. Really pretty red dragonflies. So I just thought, I'm going to put a dragonfly here. And it's not my intention for this, as I've mentioned earlier, not my intention for this journal to necessarily be an autumn forest lore. I simply want it to be a tip of the hat to forests in general. So let's take this off. This is my handy dandy book knife that my son-in-law sharpened for me. You know what? I need to roll these up, or you may never see what I'm doing. Alright. Hubby is at work today. It is Saturday, but you'll probably see this on Sunday. Now, let's get these up. I used 3-in-1 glue instead of my trusty go-to art glitter glue because I knew that some of this edge had gilding wax on it, and it also had There we go. Sealant on it, and I wasn't sure that my art glitter glue would be happy to really hold securely against gilding wax and sealant, so that's when I thought I'm going to use my 3-in-1. Let's just take that off. That was a cheese knife, and he grinds knives, so he ground that right down for me. And it is extremely sharp, but also extremely useful at times. For certain tasks, that's my go-to. So some of this is, of course, the torn edge, because this was a book cover for another book. And I have to be careful that I don't want to make that part too tidy. I don't. And I don't mind if that comes up a bit. My intention is to cover it. Oh, it's going to want to come up a lot. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm going to get too caught up in this. I need to just trim you and leave you be. There's some of the mull under there, and I just want to leave it where it was. There we go. All right. All right, that's still kind of mucky. This needs to be made grimy again. All because of some acorns. Anyhow, so I've been getting work done this week, but I just really haven't had... There we go. Okay, now I'm happy. I haven't had time, quiet time, to... I'm looking for my little... There we go. I'm looking for this. I haven't had quiet time to turn on the camera. Little Miss is quite vocal in her play. She's a vigorous play lady, and I work on my art these days, it seems, with one eye focusing on my art and one eye always scanning the room for what Kirby might be into. I've really done my best to puppy-proof. The only thing that seems to be Kirby height is paper. So if she gets into paper, I'm not too worried, because first of all, I hear it. I eventually hear the, the smacky sound, and I can go find her, pull it out of her mouth, and then either divert her attention or take a break and the two of us go out and do something. All right, so I'm going to make this. It's so hard. Maybe I'll need to cut it on this side so then I can see where I need to trim it. That's better. And then I'll worry about the other length in a second. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room, just in case. I'd rather have to trim it off again than have trimmed too much. So again, if you're just new joining me here today, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this was the original end papers for this book, as you can tell by here and here. This was the pages that were loose that you would turn. I've used the other one in the text block itself. I've put it back in. But I didn't want to do that again. There's a little bit of a divot here in it. I'm okay with that. This end is busier than this end, so I'm going to trim from that end because it needs to be shortened. Oh, and that will lose our little divot, so that worked out very nicely. All right. How fortuitous. I had fun the other day working on my book that I want to make a book of my favorite quotes. So I decided to do a page, since I'm missing Kelly. Poor thing is frolicking around France. But I thought, all right, well, I will channel my inner Kelly and do a layout in my version of her style. I'm mostly happy with it. I'm a little sad with one part of the layout. I wasn't thinking ahead. And with collage, oh my goodness, the thinking ahead, the laying down, the picking it up, the laying it down again. Oh my goodness, you know. It seems like it should be easier than it is, and it's not. And I covered part of the lady's dress up with that receipt. It's a French receipt. I ordered some on Etsy from a very lovely lady over in France who sent me some nice French papers, old French papers, and some postcards, and it was a very nice little goodie envelope. I should grab it and show you what it is but it's live and learn. So part of me thought, I'm going to try and lift that and get it perfect. And I thought, no, I'm going to leave it the way it is so that I can remind myself when I work in the rest of the book. Be careful when you do your final glue lay down. Because there's no going back. Hold on. So my book of live, is it my book of lively verse? Nope, that's not it. Oh, it's my French high school reader. So it is, I saved the front page and put it there because I just can't bear getting rid of the 1921, but it didn't work out in my gluing of pages together. My front and my back page were looking like they were wanting to try and pull my text block right out of the book. because this book is just for me, I don't mind that I had to come up with something ingenious to hold it in. And I do think I'm very satisfied with how tough it is in there. I just used sari silk. I mean, if they can make parachutes out of silk, I can mend my book with silk, I figured. So I glued down, I used some of my matte gel medium, and I glued down sari silk at the front and the back to hold the text block in. Yes, I removed some pages and then I glued the others together. Now, I really tried my best to get them smooth. I'm wondering if it's the paper. I mean, I certainly don't expect that in the 1920s they necessarily used the best quality paper to make school textbooks. The war was coming to an end, World War I, so they were still dealing with shortages of everything, and a textbook for school I don't think would hardly warrant using the highest quality of paper. So I'm going to blame the quality of the paper for these little ridges that I ended up with, no matter how hard I tried to get it really smooth. But I do think that once you've got something to look at, it sort of adds to the character. Anyhow, here's what I'm sad about. I wish I had put her over top of this corner of the receipt. I wish her dress had gone over there. But otherwise, I really like how it looks. I feel like she's looking over. There's this interesting, whatever it is. Is it a kind of lily? I'm wondering if it is. And I like that there's 1, 2, 3 of the similar color palette, but included is the lighter pinks and the light pinks of her lips and cheeks. Now, I still have her other half here, and I'm thinking about incorporating her other half onto this side whenever I do something on this side. I just thought I might have her coming and going on the page turn. Ooh. Anyhow, I haven't written in my quote yet. I'm still deciding which one. It's a toss-up. I have a favorite quote from Virginia Woolf, who doesn't, and I have a favorite quote from Joni Mitchell, who doesn't. So that's why I left myself some room here to write in my quote there, because I have now had a few times where I have lost my favorite quotes, and I decided it's time to put them into a book. And I've been saving her, and I thought, what am I saving her for? Because I love her. This is the Country Bunny, and I think the Country Bunny and the Golden Shoes, where she wants to become one of the Easter bunnies, but she's a very busy mother, and darn it, if she doesn't show them she can do it. They were all saying, you're a woman, you're a mother, you need to stay home with your babies. And she was determined to show them she could do it all, and sure enough she did, because she raised very independent youngsters. But I love when I find pictures of mothers and they've got 5 babies. And there she is with 5 of them. There's a whole lot more. In the original picture, she's got a bassinet here, and there's like 30 in there. I felt like that some days. But there's the 5 little bunnies. So it felt kind of personal. And I think there's one, boy, I'm chattering on today. Beatrix Potter. I think it's Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. There's a picture of her, and she's got 5 of her babies snuggled up with her. Anyhow, so this is my lesson I learned right here. I wish it was underneath her dress and that she was over top of it like that. But it's all life's lessons, right? That's what I say. It's all life's lessons. So I think this is a really nice way to make use of that second end paper. And then it's still smooth. This is the side you would write on. So this is the side that eventually, when I put my text block into here, if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to write on this page, I would put it in this way. And then I've got a nice hard surface to write on. But if I want it to look pretty when it's closed, I put it in this way. And then it all overflows, and then you have your ooh-ah effect. So I guess let's do that right now. And then I guess I better figure out what my time is, because I've talked so much already. Let's turn you over. And let's get you ready. Paper. What I'm going to do is similar to what I did with the acorns. I'm going to use 3-in-1, but not for this whole paper, because it will not lay nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that on its side and get it ready to go so I don't have to wait too long. I'm going to use glue stick for the center, and I'm going to go around the edge with a thin bead of 3-in-1. And I'm going to be gentle. This is a 100-year-old book, 101. So I have to remind myself when I'm working with the glue stick to not be so vigorous. Take it easy. I've been watching a lot of videos lately by artists who talk while they're working, which I thoroughly enjoy. And they talk about how they evolved into being comfortable and needing time on their own, and how they learned that that's okay, especially in a society that thinks, you know, the mofo, fear of missing out, mofo. Kirby suffers from severe mofo, or FOMO. She suffers from severe, what am I missing out? What are you doing? Am I missing out? Whereas I've gotten to a point in my life, and I had that for quite a while, the fear of missing out. And then I learned to surrender to, you know what, if people are doing something and I'm not there, it's okay. Now, that's up. That's up. I can do this. There we go. Down. I don't mind that a bit of that is showing. I'm going to slide you up a bit. And then push down. So the 3-in-1 will give extra support around those edges that might want to lift. Because as I've said way too often, as much as I like these glue sticks, and I'm very happy with them. I still don't trust them totally. Don't completely trust them. I completely trust 3-in-1, Fabri-Tac, and Art Glitter Glue. Love it. And now I'll cry if it's... Oh no, that is the top. Yes, that's the bottom. Okay. Now, I do want to get in there and darken that a bit more. I'm going to use my walnut stain. Oh boy, I'm having a hard time finding this. It's my new favorite, really, really dark brown. That's better. I want it to recede a bit. I find that light color is... My eye is going towards that light color instead of enjoying this page and enjoying these leaves that are overflowing. So I just want it to recede a bit. There we go. So we'll never know. Well, you and I'll know that there were acorns there. I may find something new to put there, or I may just leave well enough alone because I do like that. I am happy with that. Well, I hope you're all doing well. I am doing well, even though I was missing in action. If I do go missing in action lately these days, it's usually because Kirby is either going through a teenage testing my patience stage where we're having to do extra training, which is fine, or else she's going through a, I can see a little bit here, or else she's going through a stage where she's really absorbing some new skill like a sponge, and I want to take advantage of that. These are the months that are laying the foundation for whether we will have a nice little friend for the next 16, hopefully 18 years, or whether we will have an obnoxious little dog. And so far we seem to have a nice little friend. I'd like to keep it that way. Now, I was toying with the idea, let me know what you think, of cutting this feather in half down the vein here. So imagine this part is gone and just sneaking it underneath, tucking a bit of it under a leaf there, a bit of it under this leaf here, so that there's a little bit of feather sticking out on this side, and just doing that underneath. I guess you'll see on Instagram if I end up doing that. I guess we'll see. Anyhow, I think I used up all my time doing this and talking and catching you up on all the different things that I'm doing. So what is on my desk for the rest of today, because it's 10 after 11, is making the sewing templates for all 3 of these little books. So the Roundabout Papers, the other Thackeray book, the little 1887 one, and for the Beacon book, they all need the sewing template, and they all need the poking template for all 3 of them, and I need to glue it onto fabric for them. So I'm going to get on that right now. So thanks for joining me. If you've got a moment, say hello down below, and I'll say hi right back at you. And hit the like if you feel like it, and it helps pay for my glue. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.